Welcome to Two Chicks and a Horror Flick, a weekly horror movie review podcast. I'm Tawny Ray.
And I'm Felicia Connor. Subscribe to get new episodes every Wednesday. We dive into trivia, drink a little whiskey, and of course, give our no BS opinions.
Join our Discord server or message us on social media to talk all things scary.
And if you like the show, consider supporting us on Patreon.
You can find all these links on our website, twochicksandahorrorflick.com. Thanks for listening.
Now let's get scared. Everyone, hello. We are back. We missed you. I missed Tawny.
I missed Felicia.
We had so much going on. So super excited to be here. Tonight we are talking about Talk to Me, the new movie Talk to Me. But before we get into all of that, Tawny, what are you drinking?
So I've got a little cup over here of whiskey.
Nice.
Bringing it back.
That's a big cup of whiskey.
It does look like a lot. It's because I put ice in it and it melted. And then,
Okay.
Yeah. And then I hit it with a little bit of water because there wasn't enough watered down. It's like Woodford Reserve, I think is what it was.
I like that one.
It's good. Yeah. We got it as a housewarming present from Justin, actually, who was on one of our episodes of the podcast talking about the lighthouse. So if you haven't checked that episode out, you can. So thank you, Justin, for this wonderful whiskey gift. What are you drinking?
That's nice. Yeah, Tawny's glass looks like she's drinking some iced tea. And I was like, wow. I am also drinking whiskey, one of our favorites, which is Smoke Wagon.
Oh, that Smoke Wagon.
That's
so
Smoke
good.
Wagon. Love this
jealous.
Smoke Wagon.
Oh, it's probably the best whiskey I've had so far.
It's so yummy.
So good.
Yummy.
Yeah.
But I also I'll nurse it because I have, since the cruise where I was just drinking, eating, and sleeping and swimming, when I got back and we had COVID, I hadn't drank since then. So last night I just was like, I'm just not going to have it. So last night I did. I had a couple Cosmos, but like I had one Cosmo, and as I was drinking it, I started to feel buzzed because I just haven't been drinking very much. So
yeah. I haven't either. And we went to dinner tonight with family, and I got a margarita, and I think the margarita was pretty strong, to be fair. But I got about like an inch down of the margarita, and I was pretty buzzed. And I was like, I think this is maybe because I haven't been drinking a ton lately. So
yeah, this is the first time I'm having whiskey since before the cruise. No, the cruise. I had an old fashioned on the cruise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God, how was that? Tell me about the cruise.
The cruise, you guys. We are addicted. We are addicted to cruise. We're going on another one in February.
Did you already book that? Or was it already booked?
Yeah, because this is what happens. My husband loves to gamble. So he loves to go to the casino. He loves it. And so when you play in the casino and you earn points and you win a free room. That's how we got this last room. So we won that free balcony room, and all you have to pay for is like taxes and tip. And then we always also add on unlimited drink package. And since it was just me and him, we added on the unlimited food package, which lets you dine at all of the fancy restaurants too. So there's a lot of free food on the cruise, but they also have fancy restaurants you have to pay for. And so he was gambling again. And before we left, they put a note on our door. You won another cruise. And so, we're going to be going, we do know which one. We're going to be doing 7 days, Cabo, Puerto Vallarta, and Mazatlan with just TT.
Okay.
In February, because our oldest, she couldn't go because of school. But then we're going to, then later in the year or early 2025, we're going to go with just the older girls, maybe to Alaska or something like that. Okay. And then drop TT off with her grandma, which she'll love. Anyways, I'm like already on a cruise in the future. Sorry, guys. The cruise was amazing.
Great.
It's just so cool because literally you wake up and just do whatever you want. You want to sleep, you want to eat, you want to swim, you want to read, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's nowhere for you to be. It is so relaxing. Like I'm still feeling the effects of it. Like,
dude, amazing.
I feel like I'm a better person after going on a cruise. I'm super chill. Like TT's throwing a tantrum, doing her homework like normal. She hates homework. And instead of me stressing out, I'm like, chill.
You're like, you know what? Fuck homework, okay?
I think health insurance should cover the cruise cost.
Dude, you're selling me on this. That sounds Nice.
Oh, and Tawny, I got the little disc, motion sickness disc that goes on the back of your ear. I don't know if you get motion sickness. It just sticks there for a couple of days. You change it every couple of days. Not once. For anyone out there that gets motion sickness, not once.
Yeah, because you usually do, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Nothing.
I don't know if I would, because I do get motion sick a little bit playing video games sometimes, depending on what it is. But in general, like riding in cars and stuff, I don't experience it, but I've never been on a gigantic cruise ship. So I don't know if I would experience it, but this sounds fun. I got to take up gambling is what I hear you saying.
So this cruise, I did some gambling and it was fun because I won like $500 and I never won before. But the main thing is because I was playing, I got points. So what we're hoping is by the time we get the, when we're ready to bring the older girls, that I win a free room and he wins a free room. So then the girls would have their own room.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be nice.
That would be fun. So we'll see. It was a blast.
Amazing. I'm glad that you feel so refreshed. I feel like that's really hard to do now, just in life. Yeah.
And my husband is so chill. So for example, when we got off at their island Coco Cay, that was amazing. And then when we went to St. Thomas, which I hear is really beautiful, but it was so hot and humid, like deathly, that when I got off the ship, I couldn't even, I'm typically a positive person, but my husband was like, how are you? And I'm like, I am fucking miserable. That's like how miserable I felt. Then we were going to have to take a 30-minute drive to this island. I'm not an island, a beach. It was a beautiful beach, but then they didn't have umbrellas. There was all of this, but I wasn't going to be a whiner. But my husband's like, babe, would you have more fun if we just get back on the ship? And I was like,
that sounds way better.
And he goes, me too, let's do it. And so it's like really easygoing. He's really easygoing, which was nice. And then we just sat in the pool and it was great.
Nice. Fun. Yeah. So you had extreme fun and then you had extreme not fun.
Oh,
because of getting COVID.
The last day of the cruise, my husband, I could just tell in his eyes, but he was trying not to say anything because he didn't want to ruin my time, which it wouldn't. But it was our last day. I could just tell he wasn't eating a lot.
Yeah, wasn't feeling good.
He was eating only bites. He's like a 6'5" man. Like he's really tall. And yeah, he just wasn't eating. And then finally by the end of the night, I was just looking at him. His eyes were glassy. And I'm like, babe, are you feeling okay? And he's like, I'm feeling real bad. And then the next day was 8 a.m, taken to the airport. And we spent all day in the airport till 5 o'clock at night was our flight.
Oh, no.
And he was just getting more and more sick. So when we got home Sunday, we had tests. So I gave him a test and it was positive. And then I got it, but I didn't get it as bad, probably because I've had it so many times. He hasn't. So I didn't feel good, but not even close to what he felt.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. But we both say it was worth it.
Yeah. Okay, good. And at least it was afterwards, basically.
Thank
weren't
goodness.
Experiencing it on a fucking, because I feel like that would be hell to be sick on a cruise ship.
Oh, yeah.
At all. Any kind of sickness. Yeah.
Any kind of sickness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what have you been up to? Reading, writing, listening to?
I can do you have other things though?
Oh, shit.
Or do you want to like go back and forth? I don't know how you want to do it.
I don't have really anything else. I mean, I have the things I've been watching that I'm excited to share. And then, just leaving next week. That's why we're not recording because I'm going to Vancouver. The first time I'm ever going to meet my team in person.
Dude, crazy.
Yeah. So excited about that. And it's only a couple of days. So that's nice too. But it's like Sunday through Wednesday. And had someone reach out. One of our listeners was like, where in Canada are you going to be? It'd be so cool to meet. But it's like on the other side, I believe. Same thing with the a podcast in Elm Street.
Yeah.
Mark was like, hey, where are you going again? Oh my God, that would have been fun to meet in person. Totally. But I'm on the other side.
Damn it.
I know.
Shit. Yeah, that'll be cool to meet people in person. I feel like work-wise.
Yes. I like all of the different people that I interact with in work and then my team. So that'll be cool to meet them. I'm already all ready to roll.
We did that a few weeks ago now. It was like our company thing where everybody flew in here because we're based out of here, so I didn't have to go anywhere, but that was really fun. It's like always cool to see the coworker. I just don't feel like it's that different, to be honest with you, interacting online versus in person. A lot of people are like, oh, it's so different to see people. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a millennial. I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't find it that different, to be honest. I'm like, you are the way that you are on a video call. You know,
yes.
like,
so I 100% agree with you. I think when they send out the survey, like, how many times do you want to travel a year? I was like 0 to 1 because I interact with them all day. I will say though, so I don't think, I will say the cool thing about in-person events though is what happens after the team is going to dinner. That's when you really get to like know each other and hang out and have those fun memories that,
that's true.
You don't do that on Zoom really, but
yeah.
Anyway, do you want me to tell you what I watched since I'm rambling on? All right, let me tell you what I watched. Okay. So, we watched Red, White, and Royal Blue, and it was real cute. And my daughter read the book, and she's dying for me to read the book, but I really liked that.
Okay, that was one of mine, so I'm going to tack on here. Yeah! I also watched it, and it was so good. I have watched a handful now of the like romance books turned into movies. And some of them I've read, some of them I haven't. This one I haven't. And I have never been able to bring myself to read it because it's like set in it's not set in the White House, but it is like governments, like kind
political.
Of, it's like, which I'm sure there's not actually a lot of political stuff, but I feel like I can't, I'm like, that just feels like too much real life. Like we hear so much about like politics and stuff that I'm like, I don't really want to read about it in a book where I'm like escaping. And so I've never been able to bring myself to read it, even though people talk about it all the time. But I watched the movie and I was like, okay, this is really good. And the chemistry was like really great between the leads. I was really impressed. It was really good, I feel like, as far as these romance books turned into movies. Anyway.
Yeah, my daughter said that the book is a lot more steamy.
Oh, okay.
Even than the show.
That makes sense because you can get away with a lot more, I feel like.
Yeah,
than there was in a movie.
Yeah, I thought they portrayed it really beautiful, like their love for each other and even their love making. I had never seen anything like that before, in a movie, represented in a movie. And that was just like really cool.
Yeah, I found myself like smirking and like, you get kind of the like, you're like, oh,
I
butterflies.
Was blushing because I was watching it with both of my daughters. So I was blushing.
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
I have a lot of light going on. I'm just going to go like that. All right. After that, to go right along with it, one of my favorite series, when I watch this, it makes me feel like when I finish Stranger Things differently, but like I'm so in love with the characters. I'm so in love with the story. And it was Heartstopper.
Oh,
season 2. I have read the graphic novels and they make me blush and they make me feel the same way. And these actors, I just love them. I just love this.
I haven't seen any of the new season, but yeah, the first season was good.
It's so good. I'm just having the feels right now. Another thing I wanted to mention, Tawny was Down with Love. You liked the one that was, oh no, I'm forgetting what it is. The one where the autistic people were finding love.
Oh, On the Spectrum.
On the Spectrum. Thank you. This is the same thing. I think it's made by the same people, but it's people with Down syndrome.
Okay.
And it was so freaking sweet. So absolutely loved that. I watched a documentary. Nope. I watched the movie Painkiller about Purdue Pharma, the pharmacy in Oxy. It was a tremendous movie based on a true story, of course. Heartbreaking and just like the Oxy epidemic and all of that. Excellent, guys. Excellent. Definitely watch that.
Okay. What was that on?
That one was on Apple, I think.
Oh, okay.
But maybe it was on Prime.
Okay.
Because I'm not remembering 100%, honestly. But that was really, really good. It has Matthew Broderick in it. Gosh, just really great. And just makes you see people as well that get addicted to pills and stuff in a different light. because
Yeah.
it's easy to go, oh, well, they're ruining their lives, with addiction. But you can see these just really great people just progressing into just a really bad situation. And I just thought it was really brilliantly done how they did it.
Okay.
And I did watch Depp versus Heard, but I'm not gonna I thought it was good. I like how they pieced everything together. And then last but not least, Zach and Miri make a porno.
Okay.
I loved it.
Were you just not commenting on Depp versus Heard?
I'm sorry.
You were like, I'm not gonna. You're like, I'm not gonna. But it was
it's
good.
controversial. Because it's controversial. So I wasn't going to go into what I thought and stuff like that as far as whatever the situation.
Oh yeah, like the actual trial or whatever.
Yeah, but it was really good because we see all snippets of the trial. So they took the trial side by side, because they testified at different times.
Like with the snippets?
Of actual trial, and so you really get to see the trial, you get to hear everything that's going on. It's a lot more put together, and it's really nice. It's a Netflix documentary. They just do so good with the documentaries. I really liked it. It was really eye-opening. And then go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was trying to remember what you said after that.
The porno.
Oh yeah,
Zach and Miri make a porno. It popped up and my husband was like, this is really funny. And I love, Seth Rogen. And I was like, all right, let's watch it. I actually really liked it. It was
I remember liking it too.
Cute.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember being like, this is really good.
That's it. That's all I got. I'm still reading my books. So I haven't finished one to be able to give you an update on that.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I've been taking a break from true crime.
Oh, okay.
Just
that's probably good.
Yeah. I want more
Reset.
Love. I want love and romance is what I want right now.
That's funny. I'm a little bit opposite right now. I'm feeling like I'm kind of over the romance and I want to continue to read some horror because Kara sent me Theme Music, which is a book she really enjoyed. And I don't know. I didn't love it as much as she did. And so I need to talk to her about that. She doesn't know my feelings yet. But I finished it and it left me wanting. I want to be able to read. I actually have we've talked about this before if you've listened to a handful of our episodes, but I really have not read any horror books. Truly. I've never read any Stephen King. I just I don't know, for some reason I've just missed that part of it, but I do feel like they would be really scary because it's a different experience rather than watching movies. And so Felicia and I were talking before we started recording and she recommended Tender is the Flesh. So I'm going to go and see if I can find that somewhere free, on my library app and see if I can read that. So we'll see. Oh, Paige also had one that she recommended called Episode 13, but I can't find it anywhere. She has a copy that I could borrow physically, but I am having a really hard time reading physical books. I've become such an e-reader, I only read it on my phone. I don't even have a Kindle or anything. But it is so convenient to just read in the palm of your hand, literally. You just hold it. I don't know. So that's my book.
Yeah, I struggle with reading on the phone, the light of the phone and how small it is with my old eyes. But I do love my e-reader.
Yeah.
But I'm reading physical books too.
Yeah. It's a pain for me now. I'm what? I got to hold this
book? I gotta slipping.
Turn the page every 20 fucking seconds. I even got a book seat and that is cool but not great either. Anyway, okay, I'll stop telling you about my reading woes and I'll tell you about what I watched. I don't really have a ton of life updates other than it's just been really busy, so I've been MIA as well just because my work has been insanely busy. But what I watched as part of our work event where everybody came in, we did an optional culture club thing where we went and watched Barbie and fucking loved it.
Yes. I already said I watched Barbie on our last episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. You loved it.
And then I had already updated our Discord. I was I watched it. I loved it. It was great. But yeah, it was so fun. We may go see it this weekend or all of us Paige, Trevor, Jaden, myself, and Rachel. I will be seeing it again, but nobody else has seen it. So but I'm worth it. I'd totally go see it again. Anyway,
dude,
it was amazing.
Ryan Gosling, right?
Oh, so and Margot Robbie. I went in knowing that I would love Ryan Gosling because I just love him. But Margot Robbie did an amazing job also.
Yeah, no, totally she did. I just thought the dedication that Ryan Gosling put to being Ken was just out of this world. It's so good.
Love that guy.
Me too. Me too.
Anyway, okay, so that we watched one of the Netflix new movies called They Cloned Tyrone. It's got Jamie Foxx in it, which also I'll watch anything with Jamie Foxx in it. So we were like, this looks interesting. It's like a sci-fi like movie. It was weird, but it was good. Like
it was good. Okay.
Yeah. And then I also watched The Flat Share. I had a sick day, like that I ended up taking over the last like few weeks. And so that day I binged this show, and it's on Freevee, which is on Amazon Prime. This is also based on a romance book called The Flat Share, which I also have not read.
Oh, Flat Share. Okay.
I've been meaning to, because it sounds like I would like it. But the basic premise is like these two people are roommates. They're flatmates because it's set in, I think, London. And but they're flatmates at different times. So they split the apartment like 50-50. So one of them has it from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and then the other one has it from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So they're not supposed to ever meet. They're supposed to just come in and sleep in the same bed and swap because one of them works night shifts and the other one like doesn't. And so they end up communicating through sticky notes in the place. Great premise, right?
Yeah,
very
I
cute.
like this.
It was good. One of the women the woman who plays the lead is one of the women who was in Harlots, which I also like messaged you about over the last several weeks. I was like,
yes.
Did you ever finish Harlots?
I haven't
She's
finished
amazing.
It. I haven't finished it. Oh, I thought you were asking me again. Sorry.
No. You're Anyway, I recommend it. It wasn't super heavy, I feel like, on the romance. It was really more heavy on like the story and the plot. But it was a fun, bingeable. It was like 6 episodes, I think, of this hour-long episode. So that's the gist of what I've been watching and doing.
Fun. Love it.
We had a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, we did. I also love Kit Connor. I know he's a young boy. I'm just saying.
Who's that?
He is the one that plays in Heartstopper. He's Nick in Heartstopper, and he was also in the Elton John movie. That movie, Elton John movie, played young Elton John.
Okay.
I just love
him. Is he the brown haired?
No, red hair.
Red hair.
Charlie is the brown hair.
Charlie. That's right. Yep. I couldn't remember their names.
He's great too, though. But anyways, enough of that.
Enough about romance. Let's get into some horror. Isn't that funny? We like flip flop.
Yeah. Yeah. I was binging this guy. I don't remember his YouTube channel name, but I was binging him, and he just kind of like, you know, he's just very honest, and he'll play like a cop has pulled over this woman who's rich and obviously on pills or wasted, and she's like crying, and then he stops and just tears them apart, and it cracks me up. But it was so much negativity, and on top of all the true crime I was binging when I was sick, that's all I was doing was watching these things. I felt like I needed to clean my palate,
lighten it up a little bit.
A lot. Anyway, I just already talked about that guy. Sorry. It's the whiskey. No, I'm just kidding. Not yet. All right. This is what we're watching. Talk to Me 2023. When I look it up, it says 2022, but it's in theaters now. So that's where I saw it. I saw it at Harkins. Thank you very much. The director are twin brothers, Danny and Michael Philippou. That's what I think it's called. They are famous they have like a horror comic online and a TV miniseries, like a YouTube series called Raka Raka. That's it. This is their debut movie. Wow. Danny Philippou and Bill Hinsman are the ones who wrote it. The cast. Sophie Wilde was Mia. Alexandra Jensen was Jade. Zoe Tarakis was Haley. Chris Alosio was Joss. Joe Bird was Riley. Miranda Otto was Sue. And Otis Donji was Daniel.
I'm going to need some help a little bit because I saw this opening night. And so it's been 3 weeks?
Yes. So Sophie's Mia, the girl whose mother died.
Yeah, the Maine. Okay. Yeah.
Maine. Alexandra Jensen. Jade. Alexandra Jensen
Is her friend.
Her friend.
The brother is Riley, right?
Riley. Excelente. Yes. Haley and Joss were the ones with the hand that introduced it to everybody. Mm-hmm. And then Daniel is the boyfriend of Jade.
Right. Okay.
And then Sue's the mom.
Got it. Okay. I was tracking.
Jade.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay. Thank you.
Budget was 4.5 million, and so far box office is at 36.5 million. I updated it today, so they scored. Rotten Tomatoes gave it, I'm looking over here because I have my stuff over here. Rotten Tomatoes is a 95%. IMDb is a 7.5 out of 10. Letterboxd is a 3.7 out of 5. And I have a little opening about it.
Okay.
This opening was brought to you by GameSpot.com. It is a review written by Elise Wax on GameSpot.com. I just liked this opening. All right. So this is kind of what it's about, but we're going to talk about everything else, of course. And I don't know how much I'm really going to spoil, but we're going to spoil it. So if you don't want it to be spoiled, leave, because we're going to spoil the shit out of it. See how many times I could say spoil. All right. On the anniversary of her mother's untimely death, high schooler Mia, her best friend Jade, and Jade's little brother Riley sneak out to a house party. While there, they discover a new game going around. Talk to Me. A couple of Mia's classmates have a plaster hand posed at an awkward angle. A person shakes the hand and says, "Talk to me, I let you in." The spirit of a dead person then enters the living person and speaks through them. The catch? If you don't let go of the hand and blow out the candle after 90 seconds, the spirit could decide to hang out. That's all.
Yes.
Half. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, good. I'm glad that was good enough. Because the one on like IMDb was just one sentence, and I'm like, no, let's give it a little bit more. All right. So since I'm kicking it off, we get to ask Tawny first. Tawny, what did you think about this movie?
This one is tough a little bit. I'm not having the same reaction that everybody else is having to this movie. I wasn't as impressed with it as everybody else. And I think with time a little bit, like now that it's been several weeks, I'm sort of warming up to it. Like I'm not as like frustrated with it, but like in the theater, I was kind of having a frustrated experience a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think it's good. But I felt like my biggest problems were like people were making bad fucking choices. And for that reason, it felt kind of formulaic. And I felt like maybe people had hyped it up to be this movie that was going to be really different. And I think part of that is my preconceived notions of A24. And so I was expecting something different than what I got, which is my fault. Like I try not to go in with expectations, but I remember seeing the like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I was like stoked. I was like, cool, this is going to be good, you know? And so I was a little bit let down because of that. So yeah, I think it was like the choices. There were definitely some gross out moments in the movie that became like comedic, and I didn't like that. We talk about that a lot. And I just got frustrated with it. Like towards the end, I was like, what? I don't know. I don't want to like spend too much time because we'll get into it. But like there were some good parts too. I liked the acting. I felt like it was really good. I liked some of the like visual stuff for sure. The like ghosts themselves were like very scary looking. Some of the best stuff I think we've seen in a long time in horror movies, because it's really hard to pull that off and have it be effective and scary and have you look at it for an extended period of time. So that was all good. The ending was pretty fucking excellent. Like I really liked that part of it. So like I almost feel like the ending made up for a lot of some stuff, or like it is what makes it feel a little bit different. But yeah, that's kind of where I landed. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't know.
All right.
But I didn't love it the way that everybody else seems to be loving it. I just didn't feel like it was groundbreaking. It is groundbreaking from the perspective of these people. This is their directorial debut, right? So like for sure you got to give it props for that. Like they nailed it on that end. Yeah. I'll stop talking. What did you think?
I loved it. I like came home and I was buzzing about it. I wanted to go back and watch it again.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I loved it. I thought it was so fucking cool. Now, I did not feel scared.
Yeah.
There were massive like, oh, shock and like, oh, gross. And I loved the story, the acting. Okay. Here we go again. Amazing fucking acting, in my opinion. All of them. So, movie makers out there, you can find good actors. This is just always my soapbox. I thought they were all excellent. All of them. I liked all of the characters. I thought it was incredible. I thought the visuals were incredible. So much so that opening scene was so fucking amazing to me. I went with my middle daughter, by the way, and both of us, when we watch it, whatever, I'm going to get into it. So we don't really know what's going on. And there's a guy, he's looking for his brother. He's taking his brother out. His brother's obviously like saying stuff like,
oh, yeah.
They're saying this, they're saying that. He has a jacket around him. And then he's like, stop recording. And then all of a sudden he's like, the older brother's yelling at people to stop recording. And he turns around and his brother stabs him in the chest.
That was pretty good.
Walks outside and stabs himself in the fucking face.
Yeah.
So this couple came in late to the movie. It was literally like maybe 1 or 2 minutes after that scene. And they walked by us and I said, hey, you guys just missed a fucking amazing opening. You should leave and like come back and watch it. I literally said this, you guys. I literally said this. You should leave and come back and watch it in the beginning. And they both looked at me and were like, ha, ha. And I was like, I'm not kidding. And then they like went behind us, but I'm like,
yeah, sat down.
If you aren't planning on watching this again, you've missed that. And that was great.
Yeah, it was good. It was a very good opening. Yeah, very shocking. And I liked that.
Very shocking.
I forgot about it.
I also put a note, holy shit, I can't wait to see more from these brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, as a directorial debut, I think that's just an incredible job.
It's really good. You're right. Like I try to keep this in mind all the time with like low budget movies or like first time, I try to keep that in mind. And so I think it's quite a feat, and they've done a very good job with this like first showing, I
am really curious about what you didn't like in it. Because when I was watching this movie, I was like, God, this is seamless. I kept thinking like, this is really, I don't want to say perfect, but it was like almost to that level. Just as it went along and being curious and the visuals and the story was so fun and just all of this. And then the end. Yeah. The end was, I think I said out loud, oh shit. Yes, that was great. Yeah. So, I'm curious what made you mad, what you're frustrated with. Because, I'm sorry. And then I'm going to shut up because I'm actually asking you questions and I keep talking. I actually mentioned to Steve when I got home, I thought that they made decisions that were realistic. Like I thought that I might not make the same decisions, or maybe as a teen, maybe I would. Like if everyone's doing that hand thing, I think maybe I would do it. Who am I fucking kidding? I would have done it. I was such a recluse when I was a teenager. But there was a lot of stuff that I thought that were good decisions, even if they weren't decisions I would make. They made sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to shut up.
I don't know. I mean, I'll try to walk through it. Again, it's been like a while. And so I hope I'm going to do a good job of like articulating what it is. But I feel like right from the beginning, everybody doing it, I think I had a hard time, like, what's that called? Like, suspending my disbelief, because I wouldn't do this. Like, I think this is a little bit beyond, and everybody's like flipping out about it and having such a good time. And like, I guess I could see how somebody would do it the first time, but then the first time she does it and she sees like a dead person, I would be like, get me the fuck out of this fucking chair. I'm leaving. I don't have to do anything any of you fucking people say. I am done. I would be like that is the scariest thing I've ever experienced. I am out of here. So like the fact that they keep going was confusing to me. And that's one of the questions that I feel like I had. It was like, they talk about it as if it feels good. And I'm like, I can't understand like why it would feel good. They say like, it feels like you're in the passenger seat.
Yes.
And I'm like, but I just don't understand. But whatever. Okay. Like trying to set that aside. Then we have like a series of choices made by people.
Can I mention something about that though, really quick?
Yeah. Okay. Let's stop there.
Just that one thing really quick. So I think your reaction to it probably would have been like Jade's reaction. Right. She was the friend.
Yeah. I was like, totally identify with her. Yeah.
But then Mia was like almost desperate to connect with someone.
Yeah.
You're right. She was and so I think she was just trying to do it to, not be the outcast, but, and I read something about this as well. And they mention it kind of in the movie, but really I read about it after. It's like a high. It's like a drug, right?
I definitely picked up on that. Yeah.
Probably if you think about it, so whatever that is when you're high, being in the driver's seat, I don't even know, but liken it to being really, really high. It makes you feel really good after. So if you think about it that way, people stick needles in their arms and inject stuff and hot stuff into their veins to feel high. So I think that's why it was believable to me in that sense. Because yeah, first when you see the dead thing, it's scary and people are scared. But then after it goes in, that high that you feel once it's out, that euphoria, I think that's what's addicting.
Oh, maybe it is the out. Okay, I could buy that.
Mm-hmm.
I can buy that. The adrenaline and maybe the I just survived that high.
Yeah, because several of them were like, after the thing leaves, they're like, oh man, that felt amazing. So I think there's this high after the thing leaves.
That I can get with, because I was like, the feeling of being not in control of your own body sounds like
scary.
The most terrible, especially considering that you're probably like interacting with this like dead person. Like that seems so scary, and so I just couldn't like wrap my head around all of that.
People get drunk and know they're not going to be able to control their senses.
I know, but that's like I don't know. It's like different to me. Like this, you're dealing with like spiritual. You actually are looking somebody in the face who died. You can see them. No one else can see them in the room. And you're letting that person into your body.
I mean, I fucking wouldn't want to do it. But I can see other people doing it because they don't believe.
I could see that too. But everybody's sort of like, yeah, it feels amazing. And I just was struggling with that.
Okay.
But I'm buying what you're selling here about like, maybe it was the survival aspect. Like it was the adrenaline rush of afterwards. Cause that is how it's like when you get on a roller coaster or whatever, you're scared, but then you do it and it's so much fun.
I want to
you
do
get
it
off
again.
and you're like, I did it. Yeah, totally. Okay. So I can buy that. And I get that she was lonely, but there was just something about the way that they set up her motivation that I just couldn't. I guess I understood where it was coming from, but I'm like, they're going to keep doing this hand thing. And then they let this little boy do it.
Oh.
Like all of these choices over and over again. I'm like, what are you doing? And then she takes the hand and she continues to like mess with it. And I know that she wants to connect with her mom, but I couldn't buy it. And they even set it up at some point. They go, yes, these like people or whatever can pose as other people. So from that point forward, as soon as that seed is planted, I feel like you can't take it at face value anymore. And she does. And so it felt like a very frustrating watch because there's so many things happening that I just felt like you wouldn't make this choice. You wouldn't continue to like do this. But that's just my opinion. And I bet a lot of people feel otherwise.
I can say, I bet I would if I lost one of my children. It would have to be that level though. And if one of my children occupied someone's body and was looking at me and talking with the voice that they used to talk to me with, like the way they used to talk to me, what they would call me, I would desperately want to connect with them. I can say that for sure.
Yeah.
I really, really disliked our main character. I don't know if you're supposed to like her. I did. I mean, I thought she was a great actress, but she was so selfish. She's like,
maybe this was part of my problem. Yeah, like
trying
I couldn't
to hook up with that guy when her friend's dating him.
Yeah.
Letting the boy do it, even though her friend's like, no. And I looked at my daughter and she goes, "Don't worry, Mom. I would never let TT do it." I'd be like, I'd be so fucking pissed.
Totally. Yeah, I was like, this is like, you know that this is bad to let it's one thing to, you're making your own choices. You know what I mean? And you're being reckless because you want to connect with your mom, or you're like having a really bad and sad time. So maybe you don't care what happens to you necessarily. Like, I can buy all that. But then this like little boy who you see as your brother, right? Like, and he wants to do it, you're going to let him? Like I could, and I knew something really bad was going to happen. And like, so I think that was also part of my frustration, is that like, as we go through the movie, people continue to make really bad choices. And I feel like they don't even like try. They kind of like run down that guy to ask him questions, right? They're like, what happened with your brother? And he starts to tell them the answer. And then they get off the fucking bus and leave. Yeah. I'm like,
that was stupid. I agree.
That guy was giving you answers and he was like your only source of truth. And now you just you just fucked off. Like, what? You know? And like, as much as I don't want to see a fucking another, we have to go to the library and do research scene, I was like, there was none of that, you know? And I wish there had, I don't want that again, because it is very tropey and it's overdone, but there was like no questioning beyond. It was like, what is this? What's happening? Who could we talk to? Maybe a medium, like, because they say it's like a medium's hand. Something. You know what I mean? I don't know. This was frustrating me too.
That getting off the bus, I totally agree with you there. And I mean, it's tropey, but in the sense, it's realistic. What are we going to do in that situation? I'm going to Google. Period. Yeah. I am going to Google ancient hand, this, whatever, all types of stuff to see if I could find something about this hand so I know what to do. You know, I agree with you on that one.
Okay, here's another example. This might be just an editing problem, but Jade finds her dad bleeding to death. And then she just fucking leaves him. She leaves him. She's like, oh no. She's dangerous. She runs out of there and goes back to the hospital. Like, did you call 911?
She did.
Okay.
She mentions on the phone with her mom, but I heard her say something like call an ambulance or something like that. And then I asked my daughter, I was like, did she just leave him bleeding out there? Because he was alive. And she's like, no, they called an ambulance. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay. I missed that entirely. But I was like,
chaotic.
Why would she do that?
It was like so chaotic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like those are the main things. Those are my main issues. Just the continuing to go back to this thing, even though you know that it's probably not your mom. This thing is obviously fucking you up. And you know that because it's like following you around in a way that it shouldn't be. I just was like, make good choices, you know? And then because of all of that, sorry, I'm
no, keep going.
This will be my next point and then I'll just shut
up. Keep going.
This movie felt kind of mean to me in the way that like, it was like they just decided that they were going to do really like mean stuff to the people, right? Like, so you're watching like the boy Riley get like fucked up and then you watch him get fucked up again. And then you're like, oh God, she's going to kill her dad. By the time she fucking stabbed her dad, I was like checked out because I felt like this movie is just going to do whatever it fucking can to like be the most mean movie about these like characters. Like, I was like, whatever. So this is where I was getting frustrated because I was like, she's gonna stab her dad. I know it. I know it's coming because that's the worst thing that could happen in this moment. And that's what they're gonna do to me. And it's not like I hate that as a thing. I like bleak movies, but it just became like too predictable almost. And so I will admit that by the end of the movie, when you think that she's going to shove him back into traffic, they got my ass when she got hit by traffic instead. Because I was like, still like cynical. I was like, this movie's going to give me the worst fucking possible outcome right now. She's going to shove him into the fucking traffic. And that's what we're watching. And it wasn't that. And so I was like, well, cool. At least you surprised me. But also I'm confused about the ending. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll stop talking.
Well, all of that was fair. I think I just had a different reaction to all of that. Because I agree with you. I was like, oh no, she's going to kill her dad. Oh no. But it wasn't like making me upset or anything, or like, this is just a hopeless movie. Because I have felt like that before. I don't know. I do buy into that she would do this to connect with her mom. That she would believe that was her mom, because no one said definitively. They said they could, or they could take on the shape of other people. And then she's just like, who is she going to believe? I could see teens doing this too. I just could. I think because I watch so much true crime, and the amount of really fucked up shit human beings do, this does not, like, it's not unbelievable to me. I think because of some of the really horrific things that people do, that type of stuff makes me go, what? How? So I think I was like, oh, I could buy into it. I could buy into it that these kids are getting some type of a heroin rush or some type of a feeling. And so now they know it's safe in the sense to them. They think it's safe as long as it ends after 90 seconds. Right. And just like if someone wants to do drugs and, you do it that one time, that could be the end of your life.
I liked this parallel. Yeah. You feel like you're in control because nothing bad happened the first time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Very quickly, it can spiral out of control. Yeah, I liked that part and that parallel to drug addiction or drugs in general. Yeah.
The end. So this was so cool. And we both agree with that. So we'll just tell the people. So the people out there, if you don't want to know this, I mean, we've pretty much jacked up all of it for you. But
yeah,
it's turn back now if you don't want to know the ending, because it was amazing. She gets up and she's walking around, and you're not quite sure if she's dead or not, right? Because some people seem to be coming towards her or looking at her on the street, and it's just, you kind of think maybe, but you're not sure. Then she's walking through the hospital, and there's a boy. All right, Riley's better. He's getting checked out of the hospital. Her dad is better. He's walking down the hospital, excellent. And then she's calling for her dad. Everything turns black. And then there's a little light. She goes towards the light, and there's a hand. She takes the hand, and now she is the ghost or the dead person. And there's someone in front of her doing this with her, and they let her in. Oh my God. I was just going on and on and on and on with my daughter and my husband. Like, what could this mean? What could this, not what could this mean? It means what it means. It's very straightforward. It's fun. It's a story that this is incredible. But it got me thinking beyond that. Like, is this what death is for everyone? Is it because she killed herself? Is it because, how scary if that's what death is? You're wandering around in complete blackness.
Total
until
confusion.
You see a light. Mm-hmm. I just had so many questions around that. But wow. How many hands are there? I know they mentioned they think there's 2, but how many? You're going to really just probably hang around this spot hoping these guys do it over and over again, or else you're just in blackness. Really just a lot of stuff came to my brain.
I love this too. And one of the things that I wrote down, same thing, something that I really liked was that a core theme of this movie was loneliness, right? Because our main protagonist is obviously very lonely, and that's what drives a lot of her decisions. And then the parallel to addiction, that addiction sort of reinforces this isolation, right? So it's almost like the entity's goal is to isolate her. So this is kind of why I felt like I understood. I started to kind of do a little bit of reading because I thought I might do the research for this, and then you ended up taking it later. So I didn't avoid everything about this movie like I normally do. But I was reading people talking about this cycle, right? that it's like the loneliness and the addiction and the entity like fuels the isolation. So so it's making her do things to push people away. And I loved that because those choices were infuriating, right? To me.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, I get that it maybe wasn't her entirely. She wasn't in control. And then it forces her to die, and she's still seeking out companionship, and she's like still so lonely and wants everybody. And so it made me write down, like, yes, we get that the goal of this entities is like isolation potentially, but is the goal of all spirits companionship? I wondered about that. Because she seems like a very, is the word benevolent spirit. Like she's just looking for somebody. She doesn't know even that she's dead. She just happens upon these people.
Oh.
And like, but the other entities seem really sinister. The one that she ends up interacting and connecting with.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like all excited.
No, go ahead.
You guys can't see. I'm like, Tawny can tell. I'm like, oh, so excited. I love this that you brought this up. That's a really great thing to think about because actually my daughter had asked the same thing. She's like, well, because we're trying to figure out who goes to this dark place. Is it people who just kill themselves or is this or that? Bad people, but she's not necessarily bad. So anyways, we were going back and forth. And then I reminded her, actually, not all the spirits were bad. I mean, they seemed weird, but remember the French one when she was the French girl and she was just singing? It was weird, but not necessarily bad. And then the one guy that was kissing the dog, I felt like that spirit was just in a young hormonal teen boy's body. And he got really horny because he started seemed like he was jerking himself off and then kissing the dog. So that's overly, it was gross.
Right.
But he's in a body. So I wonder if it's like spirits, what they're seeking is life. To be inside. A lot of them were they did seem fucking scary.
Yeah.
But I remembered those two particularly that, especially the French girl, it was going so fast when they were doing the hand, almost like passing around drugs. It was like so fast. You only see a glimmer of it. And they were so, what is this? I'm like waving my hands around guys, expressive and and above, over the top. So I think it was hard to see really what were they evil? And some of them they were biting and growling. And yeah, it was just so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be interesting to rewatch through this lens to see if you could identify, because it's weird to me that it feels like the first spirit that she connects with is the one that sticks with her because it looks directly at Riley and it's like, he wants you. Yeah. Or maybe it's like not that spirit. It's a different one. I don't know exactly.
Or is it the same spirit? No, it can't be because
we don't know.
She's her though at the end.
Yeah, but we don't know.
Yeah. Is she a little bit of that spirit? I mean, that spirit I'm talking about, the one that's in Riley and that's trying to get her separated. Is this a spirit that's being passed through all of these different people?
Yeah.
I really liked how when the spirit's in you, it has your thoughts and feelings. I thought that was a cool element to it. But yeah, I want to know more about that.
Yeah, I feel like the lore of this and stuff was really interesting. It reminds me of that, the old monkey's paw or you just have this thing that gets passed around that nobody really understands how it works until it's too late. I love the idea of that, the concept of it. And I loved the cyclical nature because it really, I feel like, leaves you with a sense of dread that it is sort of when you die, are you just this wandering, confused spirit and you don't even know that you're dead? That's fucking existentially terrifying.
I would rather there be nothing when I die.
Yeah.
Literally,
same.
I'm done. Then I'm living that life.
Totally.
Oh God, that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
You may be happy. You may not because you didn't like it that much. But based off what you just said, in August 2023, that's this month, Danny and Michael Philippou revealed that they had already completed principal photography on a prequel film with the story exploring Duckett's backstory, which leads into the character's introduction in the original movie. So Duckett was the one who stabbed himself in the face in the very beginning.
Wow. I wonder if they signed like a multi-picture deal or something, like to have principal photography already.
Yeah, they said they knew that they wanted to do this. And so, yeah, they just went right into it. And the guy who played Duckett in the beginning plays Duckett plays this character. And so we get his story of getting the hand, and like, hopefully we'll get a little more of like where the hand came from and stuff like that.
That's awesome, dude. That seems like unheard of, that you're like like this is your directorial debut and somehow you like get enough money, you like create a deal that you are able to release your first movie, and by the time your first movie's released, you're done shooting the prequel. Like, that's crazy.
It's crazy, right? There was actually a bidding war amongst the studios for this, and A24 won.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah,
how amazing is that? For like, you wrote this movie, and dude, it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking dream. It's the filmmaker's dream. Are you kidding? It must have done like the studio or the like a film festival circuit or something, right? In 2022, because you said it said 2022, and we're just getting a theatrical debut now.
Yes, I know for a fact it went to Sundance.
Okay.
It was at Sundance. I know that for sure. Yeah, I think that was like the main one where people saw it and people wanted it, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I have it right here. So let's see. Did I say? Oh, yeah. More than that, guys. More than that. It was at the 2022 Cannes Film Festival. I'm saying that right.
I think it's Cannes.
Cannes. Okay. I never know if it's Cannes or if it's whatever. That festival. It's important. Adelaide Film Festival in October. Then 2023 Sundance Film Festival. And then it was a bidding war, was down to Universal Pictures and others, actually. So several, and A24 won.
That's okay. Awesome.
I also went to a Berlin Film Festival, South by Southwest, Fantasia, all of those. But those were the main ones in 2022, 2023.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll totally watch a prequel. I'm excited for it. It's not that I disliked this movie. I just didn't feel the same level of, excitement about it that I think everybody else did. I just didn't feel like it was super groundbreaking, but that didn't mean that it was bad by any means, Yeah,
I see what you're saying. It's not like super art house like I typically like, those ones that are really, conceptual and make me think about, but I just had so much fun. And I thought it was I wish it scared me more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I called it back to Host. I was scared. I was blanket up in my face, scared for those people to be moving around the house in Host. And I would have loved to feel that. But the graphic violence helped because I was shocked and
Yeah. I liked that part of it too. Yeah. I liked the feeling of being shocked. Oh, it was very violent and very gory. And seeing that guy's face, the boy's face in the...
Just seeing him whack his head over and over. It was so, I think I was holding my daughter's hand and we were both like cowering into each other. Like,
that was a lot.
In the beginning, when the guy stabbed himself in the face, I went, holy shit, like really loud in the theater.
Someday we have to go see a movie together.
Yeah,
it would be
so fun.
Very fun. Yeah. On that note though, like as far as we're talking about like the viscera of this movie, right? Like the visceral moments were so good, but these gross out moments, dude, I was not here for it. Like with him making out with the dog. I don't like this stuff. I don't like it. It's just, I don't like feeling disgusted. It's just not for me. And then when like she's sucking on his feet, it just became, it's like it feels so wild to me that it becomes funny. And then it's like it loses all of its punch. These are things that just, for me personally, I don't like them.
I thought with the dog thing, that's totally, like, I don't like potty humor, like things that are gross or have to do with like poop and stuff. I'm not into that at all. I thought maybe the dog one was to illustrate a I like not the dog. Actually, the dog piece didn't have to come. He didn't have to come. That's he would have just been jerking himself off, and it still came to the point without having to French kiss the dog. Because I liked the idea that the spirit was feeling a boy's hormonal body and like almost getting high off of that feeling and wanting experiencing it again. And so starts touching himself. I thought that was a really interesting and cool take. But yeah, I didn't have to, because one thing I didn't believe was after he's French kissing the dog and the boy doesn't want them to post that video, they are able to talk him into doing it again.
Yes, totally. And the fact that they do it again, like after this even, it feels like just the vibe would be totally ruined by this incident that happened. And Jade is so pissed. And she's like, this is like, why would you guys do that to him? You know, and everybody's like mad. And then we just go into this montage where it's like, we're having fun again.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think so. I don't think that would happen.
I mean, I don't know. They were like, fuck it. Let's see. Because she left. She didn't say get out of my house or anything.
Yeah.
But he left too at that moment. He walked out of the room and then she went after him. And then they're just like, and then so I don't remember. I think she says, I want to do it again.
Yeah.
And I think they're like, all right, let's do it. I just liken it to drugs. And that's why I believe it. Because I loved what you were saying, how the spirit wants to pull you away from and ruin everything between the people you love and isolate you. And that's what drugs do. Really watching this right after watching Painkiller.
Oh, yeah.
It was, I really liked that idea. It's almost like the ghosts are representations of drugs.
Yeah.
Makes you act erratic, isolates you, make you think crazy shit, makes you make terrible decisions. Completely severs, like depending on how deep you get into it, of course, your relationships with the people around
Makes you push everybody away with your behavior.
Ultimately ends in death if you don't, turn it around.
Yeah. I liked this part. I liked the allegory.
Yeah.
For drugs, for sure. One of my questions, I'm curious to know about your thought on the end, like her dying instead of pushing Riley.
Yeah.
What's your read on what happened there?
My read is that she had that little bit of humanity to her. Like, I feel like when she stabbed her dad, at first I thought she was going to the hospital just to kill him, which she was actually going to kill him. But I feel like there's a piece of her that knows that this might not be accurate. And because people have told her as well. And she's struggling with that. And then, when she's looking at Riley and she sees his regular face for a moment, like she sees that beast, but then she sees him for a moment. I almost felt like Riley was fighting to come through. And then she can't kill him because she's not a bad character. She's a fucking shitty teen. But like she has care for him. And then I believe that she was going to throw him into traffic. It was like this battle of like, do it, don't do it. And then she made the right decision in the end is what I feel.
Okay. So you think she had like a moment of clarity?
I think she had a moment of clarity. And instead she realized she was the problem. That because remember her friend was like, he's actually having a better day. Yeah. He's actually doing better. I think she had a moment of clarity that she's the problem. The thing is fucking her up. And then she kills herself just like the guy in the beginning. Stabbed himself in the face.
Okay, interesting. My read on it, totally different. I felt like that this like spirits, or whatever goal the whole time is isolation and loneliness, but it is to make this person, it is to kill this person ultimately. So like I struggled with this because I did think, is it her? Did she throw herself into traffic? And then I just felt like that didn't add up, dude. Like nowhere along the line does she seem like she has any wavering thoughts about this being real. Like And that's what was frustrating to me, is that she the whole time doesn't seem to question at all if this is her actual mom talking to her, or, you know, even after like stabbing her dad, she just like goes to the hospital to kill Riley. And I get that this, you know, spirit is telling her that she has to go do that for him. And then she's standing there with him, and then she flings herself into traffic. Like, I just couldn't buy it. So I feel like the only thing that makes sense to me is like driving this spirit is driving this person all the way through to make these really bad choices. And at the very end, it pushes her instead of herself pushing her. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I like that. That makes sense.
I don't know. But I don't know. It's obviously meant to be ambiguous.
I mean, I totally buy that, because even when I said the guy committed suicide in the beginning, I mean, he did, but he didn't look like he had any kind of moment of clarity, anything. It was just like,
yeah.
It was almost like he didn't have control. So
yeah, it's almost like somebody takes over, right?
Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe it just like went into her, or it just completely took her over and had her kill herself. Because they did mention a couple times, everybody ends up slaughtering their family and then killing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Did somebody mention that happened? Well, obviously it happened to that boy, but there was another family that happened to.
Yeah. And like all she had left was her dad. I mean, you know, of biological, she considers her friends, you know, Jade's family. I feel like her family also, but yeah, I don't know.
I'll tell you something completely, something I found very interesting, but completely out of left field. So my daughter and I really loved Zoe Tarakis' character, Haley. Just, I don't know, there's something about her. Like, she was so cool, and just...
I agree. She
right?
really...
Okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
She was so cool. In Kuwait, the film was banned from theatrical release, reportedly for featuring a transgender actor, Zoe Tarakis. The reports came despite the fact that the film was screening in other parts of the conservative Gulf region. Tarakis expressed her disappointment about the news on social media. On August 9th, the Kuwaiti authority formally announced the ban of both Talk to Me and American comedy film Barbie, which has an underlying feminist theme, claiming that it was to protect public ethics and social traditions.
Interesting.
So people, I'm just saying, when things are going awry in America, you know, and I hear people are just like, oh, America, I hate America. You just got to think about what happens, how other countries, not all other countries, but how some other countries, like, yeah, I was talking to my husband about it. How crazy is it that these people in Kuwait, I guess I don't know anything else about it besides this paragraph that I sent you guys, but I'm just saying, based on that, if they're not able to see certain things because they're banned, this perception of reality that they have, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's the only perception they have. Imagine all the things you don't know.
Yeah,
I think,
totally.
Which one is it? Is it North Korea? Yeah. That's North Korea, right?
Yeah.
What they have no idea about.
Yeah,
and only
totally
are
isolated.
able to be given what they're fed. It just blew my mind. And it made me, I was like, oh my God, the Barbie, even like a feminist theme, like they don't want feminist themes there. It just blew my mind. So I wanted to share that with all of you.
Yeah, two totally different movies.
Yeah,
like,
right.
At the same time, banned for probably different reasons, but similar thinking. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that character was very like, of all the shit, I was like, yeah, I would totally want to impress this person.
Yeah, right.
I was like,
I want to be her friend so bad.
Yeah, this is the person that you do want to be like, don't hate me.
Look,
I'm
everybody.
Cool.
Tawny just admit she'd take the hand.
I would not take the hand. That's for damn sure. But I would be trying to I would be trying to go to the parties at that person's house. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be doing the activity, but I'd be like, I'm down. You know, I'd be like, oh, when's your next party, Haley?
I would be the exact same. And I want you to know, because of all the possession movies I've seen, and one of the scariest thoughts to me is if possession is real. If it's real, I mean, there's like exorcists and stuff. That terrifies me. And I wouldn't want to welcome something into myself. To the point, guys, I don't know if I've told you guys this, but I've been hearing, this has been for several months now. I meant to tell you actually, but I've been hearing.
Whatever you're about to say, I have not heard it.
Okay, I have been meaning to tell you this, and I think I just forget when it comes to it, but every time it happens, I've been meaning to tell you. Okay, I've been hearing someone call Mom. And it always happens. So at first it was happening where I'm laying in bed, like I'm laying maybe on the sofa with TT, or I'm laying in bed with TT, or even if I'm just laying there, I hear it and I wake up. So it's so clear, you guys, that I go, what? Because I think it's like TT trying to wake me up. Or if I'm laying near her, I look over at her and she's dead asleep. That's how clear. Then it's happening now during the day. I was in the shower.
This is scary.
I swear to God in my life, I was washing my hair and I heard, Mom. And it was like right in the back of my head too. I went like this, flung around and slammed into the back of the shower because it's not that big. And I was looking and there was nothing. So I've been hearing this often. And someone told me, and I can't remember who, I think maybe it was my oldest daughter. She watches a lot of like spooky TikTok stuff. She's like, Mom, if anyone ever calls you, don't answer them because you're inviting them in. Just this one little thing. It's to the point now that when I hear that, I don't say what. I just look to see if like TT is there.
This is creepy.
It is so really creepy. I was in the closet, I think just like 2 days ago, changing, and I heard whew, as I was like, I felt, and I again turned and like was sitting there. I was taking off my dress. And so I was standing there and looking around the closet and there was nothing. I honestly feel like something is trying to communicate with me because it's just so loud, so clear. It's happening when I'm awake before I'm sleeping and I wake up. And so I was like, okay, maybe it's this middle sleep thing.
Dreaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's happening like I am awake in the day. There's definitely no dead people in the house. This is a new house. Maybe it's I don't know what it is. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys one more thing. I had this dream. I'm not going to go into it. Just the main premise was, because I have an ex-husband, that my ex-husband was holding a baby boy and it was my son, but I had never met him and I felt guilty. And so I told her this, my daughter, and she goes, Mom, didn't you, before my oldest was born, I had a miscarriage. The baby's heart stopped beating. And so then I had to have a D&C. And she goes, what if the spirit was a son and it's this baby boy is trying to talk to you? And I'm like, well, shit, if that's the case, maybe I should talk to him. But what if it's not?
Yeah, but what if it's not?
What if it's not? Okay, I'm so glad I told you. I know we totally went on a tangent, but like I've been meaning to tell you this every time it happens, but it happens at like 3 a.m, and I think, random. Oh God, I got to tell Tawny. But then by the time we meet, there's just other stuff we talk about.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Creepy.
Okay.
I mean, maybe, but yeah, like I feel like that exactly is the whole premise. What?
Can I tell you one more thing?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, sorry,
yeah.
You guys, listen to this because this affected other people in my house.
Okay. Holy shit. Okay, I was about to ask this. I had a question about if other people. Okay, keep going.
So far, no one has said that they've had anything except for this particular situation. I fell asleep on the sofa and TT was having a little slumber party. They were all in her room with the door shut. And in the middle of the night, her door opens. I wake up. I'm a very light sleeper. I wake up. I watch her walk into the bathroom because TT also sleepwalks. She wakes up in the middle of the night and she's talking to somebody and no one's there. So whenever she wakes up, I'd see what's going on. And she walks directly into the bathroom, which is right there. I can see it. The light's on. I'm sitting there awake waiting because the girls, whenever they go into the bathroom, they leave the light on and I can't sleep with the light on. So I'm waiting for her to come out so I can tell her, TT, turn off the light. She comes out of the bathroom and goes directly into my middle daughter's room. My middle daughter's room the door's open, which it's usually not open. She usually closes it, but it's open and TT walks directly in there. And I'm like, what is she doing? She comes out and goes into the bathroom and it's just quiet. I'm like, what the? She fell asleep on the toilet or something. What is she doing? So I get up to go get her. And as I'm walking by her room, I glance in because the kids are sleeping in there. And I swear to God, TT is fucking asleep in her bed. She is asleep in her bed. I go into the bathroom. No one is in the bathroom. No one. So I go and I sit on the sofa and I'm just sitting there like, what is happening? All of a sudden, I get a text from my middle-aged daughter. Mom, are you awake?
Stop it.
Mom, you could even ask her, Mom, are you awake? I'm scared. So
she's like awake in that bedroom.
Yes. Mom, are you awake? I'm scared. When I get that text, she then comes out and I'm like, what's going on? And she goes, Mom, did you open my door? Okay. So I know for a fact her door was open because when I opened my eyes and TT went into the bathroom, I could see my daughter has like this starlight and it's all starlights and it's all blue coming from her room. And I remember thinking to myself, that's odd. Her room's open. She usually closes her door. She likes sleeping with it closed. But I didn't want to scare her. So I said, no, it was TT. TT opened your door. She went in your room. Well, TT went into the room. Yeah. Well, I thought she did. But the door was open. And she goes, okay. All right, because I shut my door when I went to sleep. And I was like, and she goes, I was hearing like some thumping and I shut my door. I shut my door when I went to sleep and I thought maybe she just forgot. And so I said, no, it was TT, as I didn't want her to be scared.
Yeah.
She goes, are you sure? And I said, yeah. So she went back to bed. And in the morning, I talked to her about it again. And she said she was scared because she thought maybe someone was living up in the attic because she heard a story about it.
Yeah.
And the attic entrance is in her closet.
Oof.
And she never sleeps with her door open. So she thought, what if someone was living in the attic and exited her room? Okay, guys. So there you go. This is what's happening in our house. That's the only time that happened with like everyone's involved. But I swear to God, Tawny, I watched her with my eyes go into the bathroom, go into the bedroom, go into the bathroom. I'm staring at the bathroom, waiting to tell her to turn off the light. I get up and walk by the door and she's in her bed.
Weird.
Like, what the hell? Unless I'm losing my mind and I fell asleep for a second somehow, or I don't even know.
I mean, I suppose it's possible,
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know.
I feel like I'm a pretty big skeptic when it comes to stuff like this. I do tend to be like, oh yeah, maybe you were just tired. You didn't remember right or whatever. But like all of this stuff together is a little like, it's a little creep town. Because
I'm a skeptic too. But I also know I'm just like so sure I was awake. Like if I had fallen asleep in this moment, it's like right now, if all of a sudden you were like, oh, Felicia, you were asleep a few seconds ago. That's like
you'd be like,
awake
no.
I was. That's how awake I was.
Creepy, dude. Creepy.
All right.
And like, I feel like the people living in your house situation is like one of the scariest things to me for sure. I had a situation like this. It wasn't nearly as creepy as this. Like mine was just normal stuff. Cause like I think I had left the garage door a little like ajar, and I went out back, and the pressure changes when you open doors.
Mhm.
And so it'll like pop open or close other doors in your house. So like this is all that happened. I just went outside and came back in, and the garage door was open a little bit, and I was all, what is that? And I just closed it and then locked it. I was like, well, if somebody's in that garage, they're dying in that garage. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
well, hope you're happy in there. I'm not opening that again. But yours is, man, that's.
Yeah, the crawl space. I'm like, well, who's going to
creepy.
stick their head up there?
No.
There's handprints all over the crawl space, but she told me that they were there when she moved in. I just told her, I mean, me and Steve are here all day long.
No way, dude. No way. There's no way.
Out. And I'm telling you, I mentioned several times I'm on the sofa. I'm the lightest sleeper. My husband snores. So sometimes if the earplugs are bugging me, I will go sleep on the sofa. And so I'm just a very, very light sleeper. If TT goes, Mom, I wake up.
Yeah. Dude, creepy though. All of this is weird that it would be happening now. In this new house, like why now?
You know what? I have like a scary, I think it's scary, spooky story that's true that happened to me. I wonder if I should make it a Patreon.
I think we already did.
Did we?
This was the closet.
Oh, and my middle daughter and the ghost talking to her.
I think so.
Okay, we talked about it. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
We might have to go and revisit. I can send you the link to the one that we uploaded.
Okay, cool. No, we shared it. All right, go.
I think it is.
Become a Patreon and check it out because
go back.
Terrifying and 100%. And again, I just was like, maybe it's in that in between sleep, and I'm imagining all of this, but I mean, it was physical. It was like, I don't know.
No, that one, I was like, I remember you telling me that story, and I was like, oh my God, that's fucking terrifying. That's some haunted level shit. You know that show that they did on Netflix where they like reenact? They did one like that was kind of similar to what that other experience was. And so like, I felt like I had a visual painting of it because I kind of watched a reenactment on TV that was like similar to your story, but oh my God, terrifying. I'm so glad I've never experienced anything like this. I've like scary. Blissfully lived in none of this,
Yeah, because it's scary because it happened and I can't explain it. And I can't explain what's going on now either. Although when the voice happens, just so you guys know, I don't feel scared.
Yeah, like, it's just like a startle.
It's a trip, but I don't feel like the energy is scary. Like I don't feel threatened. I'm just startled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's your tangent, Tawny, for the show notes.
Maybe we just cut this out and we do put it on Patreon. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Hey, we could. There we go.
We could. Yeah. So how do we segue back into?
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah. I think you were saying.
Oh, what I was saying was, I don't think I would honestly let it in because the whole story was about, I won't even respond to the voice I'm hearing in the chances that I might be letting something in, even though that was like a TikTok video. But what if?
Yeah, totally. Totally. I also have like a semi not me thing, but Justin said that his daughter went to like a sleepover and they were fucking around with a Ouija board, and now his daughter came home and like wants to get a Ouija board. He like texted our group chat to be like, what do you guys think about Ouija boards?
No.
Like I didn't respond, but Paige was like, that's a big no coming from a Catholic family. And not that she's Catholic herself, but big she was like, you just don't fuck with that. And like, I feel that way. I'm not religious in the tiniest tiny bit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty skeptical. I don't really believe in but just in fucking case, you won't catch me fucking around with a Ouija board. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Religion aside, just letting whatever in case that whatever is out there, you don't know. And that is just no. I even told my daughter when we got home, and she was like, don't worry, Mom, I would never do anything like that. And I'm like, look, if you do, don't come here. Don't be bringing that shit that attached to you here. If any of you do Ouija boards, you got to find a new place to live.
Sorry.
Not coming here.
100%. No, thank you. Never have, never will. No, thanks. Yep. I think they're cute. I'd put it on a shirt. I'd wear a little planchette necklace, but would I actually play a Ouija board? No.
No. You know what? My mom, when she was young, she told me a story. She was like, it's hands down. She was true with my godmother. When they were young, they were living together. They were doing the Ouija board, and that's that. Okay. They were alone. They were messing around with the Ouija board. That's that. Fast forward to, I don't know, a few weeks later, whatever. My mom goes to get pictures that she had developed from her camera. And there was a picture of them playing the Ouija board on her camera. So whatever, even if it's a real human, I just got cold chills. Even if it was a real human sneaking in the house, taking a picture, I don't even know, but
terrifying.
Scary.
What? Terrifying. Terrifying.
Who took that picture? Was someone living in the thing and snuck in their attic and snuck down and took a picture and then went back up? I don't know. All the situations are terrifying.
Is it? Yeah, it doesn't matter. All scary.
Doesn't matter.
Is it a
all
ghost?
Scary.
What the fuck? Yeah. No thanks. Yeah.
Ghost story exclusive Patreon.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, anyways, back to what we're saying is I don't think I would do this because I wouldn't want to welcome something into my body like that. I'd be terrified.
Yeah, the fear of it is enough to not do it to begin with. Yeah. And it's scary.
Yeah.
Possession. Yeah.
So scary. I'm terrified of possession and the possibility that's real. So if there was even an inkling that it might be real, I mean, I think I'd be skeptical if I was watching my friends. Like I would be like Jade, she was like, this is not real. I don't want to watch those videos. It's stupid. It's staged. But if their eyes, okay. If I would be bought in that this was happening on some level, something was happening, and I wouldn't want to do it to myself.
No. Can I also, I'm going to switch gears because I just remembered something that we never talked about.
Yeah, please, let's do it.
One of the things that I was like so excited about, and Jade and I both, this happened and we both looked at each other in the theater and we were like, we like gasped at each other because we were so excited about it, was when there was like the little ghost girl and she was like, I let you in. We were like, no, you can go into, like it goes the other way, dude. Like you could be like an alive person. You go into, like we were so stoked about that. But it was like real quick. Like we were just one and done. We were in and out. And then you question, like, was that even real? Or was that the entity trying to like, but I wanted so much more of that. I was so intrigued. It was during that time that it was really taking a lull for me and I was really getting frustrated and bored. And then there was like a quick hit of like, oh shit, this is about to get interesting. And then we just didn't go back there. And I just wish that there had been more of that. I don't know.
100% agree with you. 100%. It'd be so interesting being in the dead person's body and what do they see? And I felt the same way. I felt like it was all fake.
Yeah.
It almost made me feel like the little dead girl wasn't an actual little dead girl. And then it made me question all the dead people. It's all this evil entity fucking around? You know, but the only reason that made me think maybe not was because then she became one of those things. So then, but yeah, I thought he just wants her to see that vision so that she kills Riley. And that's a bummer because that could be just really
what a
cool.
fucking concept, dude.
Yeah. Instead of possessing you as a human are able to go into the possessor, the ghost.
Yeah, like why wouldn't it work the other way around? You know, like oh, that was such an interesting concept.
Yeah,
that I hope they explore if they keep going. Yeah.
I would love to see that too.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of research at all available. I think we hit the main things, so I don't have anything additional.
Okay. Yeah, that's usually the case with these new movies.
Do you have anything additional?
No.
You want to rate it?
Mine. Let's do it.
All right, Tawny, my distinguished guest. I'm just kidding. But I started it, so we're going to let Tawny go first. What do you rate this movie?
Okay, I think I'm going for a 3.85.
Okay, that's not terrible at all.
No, I talked a lot of shit, but I think I came back around to like, when I look at my scores, I also gave Bones and All a 3.85 and okay, that was it. But then I looked at like what was below that, and A Girl Who Walks Alone at Night, I gave a 3.75, and I think I liked it more than that. But I don't think I liked it like on a 4 level, so I couldn't go too high. But like it was good. But there was just something missing, and that's how I felt about Bones and All. So I felt like that was a good same level of this movie. Is like there was some really good stuff, but there was just something missing for me personally. And yeah, I get what people see in it though.
Nice. That's a good story. That's a good score. All right. I'm going to give it a 4.8.
Okay.
I can't do 4.9 because The Witch is sitting at that spot. And it's just real hard for me. I love that movie. Probably should have given that movie a 5, honestly, but I digress. And then looking at some of the other ones, A Girl Who Walks Alone at Night, I remember really liking that, but that was one where I thought maybe I wasn't sure. But Fresh, I gave a 4.9 as well. But actually, that's hard because I thought of Fresh and I'm like, maybe I liked it as much as that. But the one thing is The Witch. So you know what? Probably I should make The Witch 5.
Probably.
And
put this at a 4.9.
Yeah. Oh, I can.
What? Yeah. This is
Tawny just gave. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give this movie a 4.9, and I'm going to go over. I've been waiting for this. The Witch. The Witch is a 5.
Do it.
And then somehow we say, I don't know, in our little spreadsheet, I'll make a comment. Changed retroactively from 4.9. Yeah, guys, this is how we do it. We keep track of everything. I feel refreshed. Oh my God, I feel so amazing. Which is a 5. And this one I'm giving a 4.9.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are always entitled to change whatever score you want to at any moment.
Thank you, Tawny.
Without my approval.
That is so funny. I keep thinking about it, and you guys can't see because it's so far away, but this book right here is the one Tawny got me, and it is The Witch. I talk about it all the time, and I have a writing partner. We're like critique partners, and she was asking me about some of my favorite horror movies and what she should watch, and I told her The Witch, and she watched it, and so I just this is a long time coming. That's why I'm so excited. All right. Hey, guys, we don't know what we're watching next.
Yeah.
We're coming back in September, and we're going to have episodes for you, and it's going to be great, and we don't know what it is. So we hope you like it. If you like us, follow us on Instagram at 2 Chicks and a Horror Flick, or search for us on your favorite social media platform, and we will be there. What else, Tawny?
You can support the show by giving us a like, review, and subscribe on whatever podcatcher you're listening to us on. And that's it. We hope you have such a good night. No nightmares.